Use a microphone.
Honorable Speaker, I was just saying that I've just come in to Parliament and I've faced serious challenges and difficulties accessing Parliament just a few minutes ago.
Yes.
Because the whole of that gate facing County Hall is blockaded by multitudes of doctors clad in lab coats and other attire. Honorable Speaker, and I've listened to my friend, the chairman of the committee, my very good friend, Honorable Pukosi. We have a problem at hand. First and foremost, I think as Parliament we need to address that issue, that blockade, because it's likely to cause problems. But secondly, this issue of doctors, the manner we are treating it, it is likely not to go away. So I think this House, more than any other institution, has got a cardinal duty to rise to the occasion. Where everything else fails, this House must come in to address the issue head on, regardless of who is on the wrong and who is on the right. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we are now almost in the 4th week, and there are no signs of this strike abating. There are no signs at all of this strike abating. So these statements we are receiving here are not adding to anything. So something needs to be done. And that's something I heard the President say, that the government is broke, is unable to pay, and therefore is unable to pay and therefore won't pay. Honorable Speaker, he also advised that Kenyans, including doctors, must now start to live within their means. Fair enough, Honorable Speaker. But even as we say so, what are we doing to ensure that these doctors leave the streets? They have now come to actually blockade Parliament. You don't know what else will happen next, Honorable Speaker. As we speak, I'm hearing that other Kenyans are planning to join them. Honorable Speaker, that's no idle threat. Other Kenyans are actually planning now to join the doctors on the streets. Unless something happens and we can persuade the doctors to leave the streets and go back to the hospitals, Honorable Speaker, these statements will just remain statements. Honorable Speaker, this issue, I was talking to my friend, Honorable Dr. Nikal, who is a veteran medical doctor. Honorable Speaker, I'm even surprised that those who are in charge of the health ministry are unable to differentiate between medical students and intern doctors. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have been advised, I'm a layman when it comes to health issues. I have been advised, and I've got every reason to believe the advice have been given. Honorable Speaker, intern doctors are not just students. These are people who have done 6 years in university, have actually graduated. As you know, doctors don't just graduate with one degree. They graduate with a degree on medicine and also surgery. So it's a twin degree that they get after 6 hard years in campus. These are people who you cannot treat as any other ordinary interns we see in the job market here. So I suppose that unless something is done.
There's a point of order on I. Yes, Bukosa.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, when we talk about medical officer intern, it is true that you've been in the university for 6 years. But architects have also been in university for 5 years, 6 years, engineers 5 years, and all of them after graduation, all of them graduate, then they can become interns, even engineers. So is the doctors. They have graduated, even lawyers graduate and they become interns. So internship is part of the training. Yeah, it is part of the training. And when you graduate as a doctor now that you are going as an intern, you are under supervision by a senior doctor. After your 1 year of training under the doctor, if you don't qualify, because there is another qualification, I have to sign you that you are now fit to treat any other person. If I feel you are not fit to treat any other person, then I'll make you repeat again until I'm satisfied that you can treat somebody confidently and professionally without supervision. So this is part of the training. And I think we should not, and you see, we have those who are doing postgraduate, they are postgraduate students, also called registrars. So there is nothing, even when you are doing a PhD, you are a PhD student, there is nothing different from that. It's a training. What I also wanted to, Honorable, to correct the minority leader, is that Parliament prosecutes its activities through committees. We've already presented to the Petitions Committee, but we feel as Health Committee of the National Assembly, together with the Health Committee of the Senate, we can still prosecute some of the issues that might not have been addressed. And we had sought permission from the Speaker to sit tomorrow. But unfortunately, tomorrow is a public holiday. So we've already requested the Speaker that we sit on Tuesday next week, which has been, because where else can you be able to sit? Because once you reschedule the meeting, you have to inform those institutions. Ideally, it's supposed to take 7 days as per our standing orders. But we've requested for a special sitting to be done on Tuesday. And this has to be between the two houses, the National Assembly and the Senate.
And I wind up 1
Okay,
minute.
Honorable Speaker, I hear the Honorable Chairman of the committee, also an accomplished medical doctor. But all that Honorable Pukosa is saying, Honorable Speaker, with all due respect, is pure academics. It's academic because as we speak, we know for sure that even the 70,000 shillings you are offering the intern doctors is not in the collective bargaining agreement that was signed between the doctors and the government way back in 2017. That CBA has not been waived as we speak. So what is the government doing? Either to honor the CBA in letter and spirit or review it with the concurrence of the doctors. That is how labor issues are addressed, Honorable Speaker, the world over. So what we are being treated to here is mere academic. I don't think we shall go far if this spirit continues, this kind of thinking. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving the opportunity to mention something. And I want to agree, Honorable Speaker, with what all the contributors to that statement, Honorable Speaker, are saying, that indeed our doctors are valued, and we all value our doctors because many of us depend on them. But Honorable Speaker, it should not be lost to us that a decade ago, this country was only able to produce an average of 300 doctors from our two public universities that were churning out medical graduates. But today, courtesy of the huge investments that we have all made as a country in our education system, we are churning out an average of 1,500 intern doctors annually. What that means, Honorable Speaker, is that the interns would have been taken in 5 years are expected now to be taken in annually. And Honorable Speaker, I'm saying that just to draw the picture to Kenyans of the kind of resources that are required. And Honorable Speaker, also to put into perspective, the demands by our good doctors today are to be interned at an average of, I think, 206,000 or 207,000 shillings. And Honorable Speaker, I have listened to this debate even in the public domain, in the media. And what our doctors are being told, yes, it is possible to pay 206,000 shillings to intern doctors, but take up less interns than those who are graduating. And Honorable Speaker, this year alone, a total of 1,210 doctors, intern doctors, are being enlisted at a cost of 2.4 billion shillings within the resource envelope already allocated by this House, Honorable Speaker. So it's foolhardy for us to speak to the gallery to excite doctors at the gates of Parliament. But it's another thing when we come to budgeting, to budget and make sure that you have adequate resources. But those resources do not come from the moon. They come from taxes raised from Kenyans, which, again, the same people who are pontificating about how well we should treat our doctors are the same people who are at the forefront of opposing the finance bill that was supposed to raise taxes to pay these doctors, Honorable Speaker. But, Honorable Speaker, the interns, Honorable Speaker, that are to be employed, yes, it is true, it may not be possible to pay 206,000 shillings. And I agree with the Honorable Chair Pukose that just like all other interns in other professions, those engineers who are supposed to work under engineers for 2 years, lawyers, like many of us, including the leader of minority, I don't know if he has finished his pupillage. When he's under pupillage, he earns a mere 25. I am told in some law firms, lawyers do not even earn anything. Those who are under pupillage...
There is no obligation to pay a pupillage student in law.
And you know, Honorable Speaker, I will take your word as law because you have run a law firm, and an accomplished law firm. Therefore, lawyers, there is actually no obligation, as Honorable Speaker, you say, to pay intern lawyers under pupillage. So doctors, indeed, to earn what they are earning today, are indeed among the most privileged professionals in our country. Honorable Speaker, beyond their internship, Honorable Speaker, and this internship, Honorable Speaker, is mandatory.
Point of order, Majority Leader. Yes, Mwenje.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Standing order number 1. Is it in order, surely, for the Leader of Majority to compare a pupil who is not qualified to practice, who does not even appear in court, which is opposite to intern doctors who actually prescribe medicine? They actually treat people out there. So is it in order to compare those two professions? I'm a lawyer myself. I understand what I went through as a pupil. But that is very different from doctors, from intern doctors. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Mwenje, if you listen to Dr. Bukose's very clear explanation, there is no difference. There's no difference. When I was a master to the Honorable Soipan, the Honorable Kindiki, and many others, they actually were obligated to show gratitude, and that is all. But I'm not saying it's applicable to doctors, because I don't want to wade into that. Majority Leader is on the floor. I'll give you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me not respond because you have responded to Honorable Mwenje, who claims to be a lawyer. The lawyer I know behind me, Honorable Speaker, is Honorable Njeri, who tells me that she would earn 12,000 shillings as a pupillage lawyer. Honorable Speaker, that's why I said this internship program can be likened to that pupillage, 2 years pupillage for lawyers, and also the 2 years postgraduate training practice for architects and engineers. And all these professions, Honorable Speaker, do not earn the quantum that our doctors are speaking. Honorable Speaker, when these doctors qualify after working under the supervision of qualified consultants and doctors, they join this public service at a grade higher than all other professionals. And those are facts, Honorable Speaker. And that means they earn more. But, Honorable Speaker, it must also not be lost to the country that our intern doctors are making a very critical point and speaking to the architecture of our Constitution. Our doctors for long have demanded the establishment of a Health Services Commission, Honorable Speaker. Today, while the intern doctors feel mistreated, is because they are being overworked in our county government establishments. And the day we opted in 2010 to fully devolve our health services, Honorable Speaker, we did a great injustice, not just to medical professionals, but to the people of Kenya. Today, Honorable Speaker, whether you are in a level 3 hospital, a level 4 hospital, or a level 1, or a health center, or a dispensary in your village, the person you will walk to treat you at your local dispensary is either a clinical officer. At your level 3 and level 4 hospitals are these intern doctors, Honorable Speaker. And they are being overworked by our governors and our county governments. That is a fact that we must state, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, the Council of Governors, Honorable Speaker, must come out and take their position, their rightful position in ensuring that hospitals within our country and within their respective counties, first, they have qualified doctors, and two, that the intern doctors who work in those hospitals are not overworked. They are working under the supervision of other qualified personnel, Honorable Speaker. Because, Honorable Speaker, today, facts are different. That intern doctors are actually the ones running our county hospitals across the country without exception. Yes. And those are facts, Honorable Speaker. They are carrying out surgeries, Honorable Speaker, without the supervision of qualified personnel. And therefore, these are issues, Honorable Speaker, that must not be left at the altar of the national government, but our Council of Governors and county governments must also take their rightful position, Honorable Speaker, because now this thing has been made to look like it is a question of the national government to deal with alone. Why it has become such a problem is because our healthcare is decaying and rotting under the hands of our county governments. Yes. If you read all our audit reports, all the Auditor General's reports, Honorable Speaker, including those from my own county in Kiambu, billions of shillings are being lost and pilfered by governors who have no regard to either the medical professionals or indeed any other professionals working in our county governments. But, Honorable Speaker, because healthcare is a matter so dear to all of us, Honorable Speaker, I would beg and I would call on the striking doctors, whether it's medical interns, whether it is the clinical officers, whether it is the lab technicians, give dialogue a chance. And I say this because, Honorable Speaker, having co-chaired the National Dialogue Committee, I am now an experienced chair in matters dialogue. And I can tell them dialogue does work. But dialogue will not work from the streets. Dialogue will work from your boardrooms at the Ministry of Health, yes, not at the gates of Parliament. Stop blocking parliamentarians from coming to speak on your behalf. We are here to speak on your behalf. They shouldn't block the Honorable Njeri or the Honorable Marianne Keitany from accessing the gates of Parliament. Or indeed the Leader of Minority who was coming, or he joined them to address them. Honorable Speaker, we should, let me say we empathize with them, but we also want to appeal to our medical professionals that as we deal with the challenges that are there in our country, they are part and parcel of our nation. Any patient that we lose during this strike will never recover, will never get back their life. Therefore, I want to appeal to them to get back to work. And those interns whose letters are already with their governors, please, medical interns, go pick up your letters and get back to work. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Dr. Nyikal.